need to get to the first bit of business. A little later, we'll show you one of Jason's craziest projects. We've got a lot packed into the next half hour. Today is no different, except we're going to take a look at two auctions we featured last week and see how they did.
For more on that, here's Jamie Howe.
When the Pro Mod class debuted in 2010, Brad Personette was the only driver racing with a turbo, but other competitors took note, and this year there are 5 turbos in the field. So Brad, as we look into the 2011 season, you've got some tough competition. How do you handle it?
Jamie Howe.
Well, both classes in the first 2 rounds of competition were decided by less than 5 seconds. In the previous round at Homestead, the ST win came down to only 2/100ths of a second. It was the APR Volkswagen of Ian Voss and Ryan Ellis who took home the win. Thanks for watching this episode of Lucas Oil on the Edge. It's been an eventful day full of dirt-flying motorcycles and tire-smoking drift cars. For Ken Stout, Brian Olson, Rob Klepper, and Ted Brunson, I'm Jamie Howe. We'll see you next time with more competitive, adrenaline-fueled motorsports. But just remember, you're not living unless you're on the edge.
Down at the far end, welcome, Jamie Howe.
Thanks, guys. There's absolutely no confusion down here at the far end. Steve Gasparelli won his run purely off of driving. Steve, how'd you do it?
I'm Joe Goldberg.
And I'm Jamie Howe.
And welcome to the Optima Ultimate Streetcar Invitational.
Now, it's hard to believe that all of these beautiful show cars are actually going to drive 80 miles out into the desert and prove that show cars are not all about show, but they're also about go. We've been to lots of places to bring you stories from Copart customers, and all you visited more than a dozen states with us. Well, Calvin, the GT storylines so far in 2010 have really written themselves. There are more cars, more teams, and more manufacturers. Marco Andretti is making his 24 Hours of Le Mans debut, the 3rd generation of Andretti to do so. But Marco, you're right in the middle of your open wheel season. What is it about this event that made you just have to come out and play? We've got a 57 210 Townsend. This is America's original SUV. Driver Kyle Newman, this thing is big and heavy. Can it move out on the track?
It can. It's not.
The Yokohama Tire Company looks towards the environmental aspect of motorsports in every area of their global greening initiative, and that includes racing up a mountain. The team sets its sights to 14,000 feet above sea level to the majestic view in a true test of environmental technology.
For more on that, here's Jamie Howe.
On April 4th, NHRA lost one of its biggest supporters and one of the best West Coast alcohol racers of all time in Lou Gasparelli. But his son Steve is returning to the track for the first time this weekend. And Steve, after the rough couple of weeks you've had with your family, what's it like to be back at the track with your racing family?
It's kind of bittersweet. I
was talking to John Field on the grid prior to the start of the race, and he said his plan was to be aggressive, but he also said that as soon as there's a caution, they're going to come in, put Clint behind the wheel of the car, because John, in addition to starting the race, he also wants to finish this one anyway. For weeks now, we've shown you Copart auctions as people from across the country and across the globe have taken home great buys. Andy Lally wasn't even supposed to be racing here this weekend, but Andy, here you are and on pole nonetheless. It's the first time the GTC cars have been on a street circuit. What's going to be the key to survival?
Okay, let's be honest. 2010 Optima Ultimate Streetcar Invitational, Mark Stilo was a favorite from the beginning.
All the drivers spent all day long trying to catch him, and in the end, he was only caught once.
Only caught once and never beaten, because in the end, the 2010 winner was Mark Stilo.
It's been a fantastic event.
And there's only one way to top it.
Join us next year for the 2011 Optima Ultimate Streetcar Invitational. Again, Magnussen, Johnny O'Connell clinching the GT1 championship, 8th win of the season, but this is your final Petit Le Mans GT1. Is it a little bittersweet? Risi Competizione's Jamie Malo was able to set a new track record on the way to that pole position, Jamie, by over half a second. You captured it. Simon Pagenaud, fantastic stint for you. It's been such a team effort this weekend. How did all of the pieces come together when you weren't the favorite to win? If you don't have time to check out our Waiting Around the World auctions in the next couple of days, we understand, and we have a couple more that might fit your schedule. There certainly is a lot of excitement. Crew members making their way down. Johnny Cocker getting the helmet off right now. Johnny Cocker, you made that pass right at the end of the final lap of the race. How hard were you pushing out there? You use the word kids when you refer to all of your co-drivers. How much push are they putting behind you? Historically, what we've seen in endurance racing is that it is, in fact, all about endurance. It's about making it to the end in conservation. However, what we saw here today at Petit Le Mans was a 1,000-mile sprint race. The cars were all out, literally coming down to the final lap in the GT class. That begs the question, what's it going to be like when we get to Sebring in just a couple months' time?